inviting His Holiness to bestow precious Dharma teachings. Let's pay homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness Karmapa. And homage to Master Thubten Dorji. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahapratisara Bodhisattva. Homage to the three jewels of the altar, Simo, Danzan Katsu, Toten City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the webcast. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Aisteru 사랑해. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sukoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Chumi. Yappy. Konnichiwa. Today, we perform Mahapratisara Homa, and there's a key point here that you have to form the Pratisara 8 mudras, the 8 mudras of Mahapratisara Bodhisattva, and I formed them all just now. So once you form the Pratisara 8 mudras, and while forming the mudras and chanting the mantra, and lastly you dedicate the merit, and it's up to you what you request. That's the key point. That's the mantra. And the 8 mudras are, I have formed them earlier in a 5-prong mudra, Kalachakra mudra, Yamantaka mudra, Vijaya mudra. And this one here is the same as Golden Mother's mudra. It's the inner 5-prong mudra. And the second mudra is Kalachakra mudra. And the third mudra is Yamantaka mudra. And the Ushnisha Vijaya's mudra. And 3-prong mudra. And the single prong mudra. Akasagarbha mudra. Akasagarbha mudra. And last one is Mahaprajna Paramita Buddha Mother's mudra, which is the scripture mudra. Scripture in Chinese sounds like tomato. So 8 mudras total. That's the key point. And Mahapratisara is truly responsive. And as I remember, Mahapratisara can fulfill all your wishes. This is an extraordinary bodhisattva that can fulfill any wishes you have. So, the Mahapratisara Dharani, it's noted at the Kapilo Vastu Rahuras, the youth, and his mother Yasudhara, which is the queen, the most beloved concubine of Sakyamuni Buddha. Yasudhara gave birth to Rahula, and at that time they were in the opinion that Sakyamuni Buddha had left a long time, and how could Yasudhara still bear children? So they threw the baby into the fire pit. That at that time, the child of Sakyamuni Buddha in Yasudhara's womb. So she was mindful of the Mahapratisara Dharani. So the fire was extinguished. And the fire became lotus ponds. So by chanting this mantra only, Om Maha Parati Saro Soha, it generates such power. And there's the King Magadha that did not have any children. So if you write the Mahapratisara's mantra and have your queen wear it, then she would bear children. So if you ask for a son or a daughter, you would get them, and you would get whatever you ask for. He's very responsive. So the scripture mudra, so you don't form it like this, you have to clap 3 times and then rub it 3 times. That's the key point. By rubbing 3 times, you're touching the heart of Mahapratisara Bodhisattva. And then you say your prayers, your wishes. Then Mahapratisara Bodhisattva would hear your request. And he would fulfill any request you have. And those are the key formulas. for Mahapratisara Bodhisattva.
那么现在呢，通知大家。
So I would like to announce for next Sunday,
10月4号
October 4th,
下午3点 PM，
Sunday at 3 p.m.
是莲花童子的护摩法会。
is Padma Kumara Homa Fire Offering Ceremony. Padma Kumara.
这莲花童子的护摩法会。
Padma Kumara Homa.
这个师尊是莲花童子。
And we all know that Grandmaster is an emanation of Padma Kumara, the Lotus Youth. I heard it very clearly, and then I confirmed it myself. At that time, Golden Mother brought me to the Golden Mother fairyland and told me in my ears that you are Padma Kumara. At that time, in the Buddhist world, nobody knew about Padma Kumara, what the Lotus Youth was about. I was in Taiwan. When I heard that I was Padma Kumara, I asked so many venerables, monks and great masters and great laities, and nobody knew about Padma Kumara. So eventually it was proven that in the caves of the Donghuang grottos, in each of the caves there is a Padma Kumara, and there is a grotto where Padma Kumara is the main deity, not just cave number 314. That each of the caves has Padma Kumara in it. So therefore, there are many Padma Kumaras. That's been proven. So at the Lanzhou University, they did the research on the Donghuang, and there was an article about the research on Padma Kumara. So therefore, Padma Kumara's existence has been confirmed. And of the Donghuang grottos, there was a cave where Padma Kumara was the main deity, and there are many Padma Kumaras. So Padma Kumara was Grandmaster's past life. So as true Buddha school disciples, do you want to register as primary supplicants? If you don't want any spiritual union with the root guru or with Padma Kumara, then you don't need to become primary supplicants. After I say this, I want to see how many people will become primary supplicants next Sunday. Before the Dharma teaching, I would like to start with a joke. Ever since I was small, I always forget things. When I leave the house, I would lose money or my umbrella, or I would forget bringing any money with me. And in the morning, before leaving the house, Dad kept reminding me, remember to bring money and umbrella. Please be careful and don't lose anything. So I was mindful of it and very careful all day long. And when I got home, I saw my dad hug him and very proudly said, showing him the umbrella. See, I didn't lose my umbrella. And Dad was speechless and then said, hey, but you forgot to bring umbrella when you left the house. So whose umbrella is it? So she didn't even know that she actually took somebody else's thing. So today, the practice procedures for your Buddhist practices or True Buddha School practices, please don't be so careless. So the preliminary practices or the fundamental practices, which is the beginning parts of the practice, and then the main part of the practice, primarily you have to visualize, form the mudra, recite the mantra, and enter samadhi. You need to do all those in the main part of the practice. And for the ending part of the practice, you chant the praise, dedicate the merit, perform the homage, and to complete the Dhamma practice. That's the ending part. So if you memorize them all, then you will not be forgetful about this and that. Otherwise, when the practice procedure is not complete and correct, then you have to chant 100 syllable mantra 3 times. By doing so, you can fix it. Like if you have other wandering thoughts, or you forgot about certain piece or miss other thing, then you can fix it this way by chanting the 100 syllable mantra 3 times. This is very important. The first question from Indonesia. Lily. Homage to the lineage Guru. I have 2 questions. Please advise. First, how do we maintain steadfastness in spiritual cultivation? Because in my spiritual path, I often lack motivation and perseverance. Please be compassionate to bless me. So how do we maintain my perseverance in spiritual cultivation? So many people are hit and miss. So they fish 2 days in a week, and 3 days they're just drying the net. So like in 1 week, they just practice maybe once. They don't have the steadfastness to practice every single day. So Grandmaster have said that if you don't practice even 1 day, then you're a ghost. So whenever you don't practice, you're a ghost. So you need to remember. And you want to think like this. You should take a look at the cemeteries frequently. That human lives are short and miserable. That every single being will die. Or you should often sing a song that in a flash you're old already. Do you remember it? Have you heard that song? There's a song that's called "In a Flash We're Old Already." Don't think that human lives is long. That in a flash it's old. As soon as you just when you start to understand, it's old. You're old already. If you often go to the cemetery, it's to remind yourself, to motivate yourself that very soon we will die. Think about it often. The body is not yours. The houses are also not yours. The cars are not yours either. Money is not yours. You think that romantic love is as sweet as honey. And some people say even your wives are not yours. There was a legislator that told me in the past. The person is already in heaven. There's a song. Oh, they printed it right away? Well, that's incredible. You don't know when that the face has wilted and nostalgic about the past, the youth and the madness, that in a flash we discover that human life is too short. All of a sudden we discovered that the road is no longer long and short, long and slow. How come now everything is so rushed? How come I just learned to understand and I'm already old? And I just learned to embrace and I'm already old. When I just discovered which path to take and I'm already old. How come I just start to understand and I'm already old? How come I just understand about time and it's already not enough? I don't know when my feet are already so cold and my face is wilted. And nostalgic of the youth and the madness. All of a sudden I discovered that human life is short and the road is also no longer long and slow. I haven't embraced myself and everything is in a rush. How come I just start to understand and I'm old already? And I just learn to embrace and I'm already old. How come when I know which path to take and I'm old already, I haven't even started to take that road and already old. So please sing this song often. Then you would have perseverance in your spiritual cultivation. Because only spiritual cultivation is everlasting. So if you cultivate spiritually and do the Dharma practice, then you would have that perseverance. If you sing this song, you will discover that time flies, and if you don't make effort, you will be old really fast. Like what I said, the person is in heaven. The money is in the bank. And his wife is at somebody else's chest. And your siblings are fighting for your inheritance. So remember, nothing belongs to you. That in the tombs are many young people. In the ancient tombs there were many young people. Don't think that you want to start practicing Buddhism only when you're old. In the tantric practices, if you wait till you're old, you have no more chi, and your channels have wilted, and the light drops, only a drop left, and perhaps you don't even have a drop left anymore, and you want to practice the Tao. What the heck? Don't wait till you're old to cultivate, because the solitary tombs are filled with young people. When we went to the columbarium and you look at the photos, there were many photos of young people. So no time left. That's why this would motivate you. Like what I said earlier, the person is in heaven, the money is in the bank, the wife is with other people's chest, and the siblings fighting for your inheritance. So what belongs to you? Well, good thing that you have cultivated spiritually so that you could go to heavens. It would be even worse if you fall into hells. Let's sing a song.
唱一放就老了。
In the flesh, we're old
你一
already.
唱，你就知道
Once you sing it, you would know
一日一修，
that you should practice every day.
要一日四咒法。
And for the ordained monks and nuns, you have to practice 4 times a day. 4 times a day.
这是教你常练心，
So this is to teach you how to persevere,
修行保持着你的恒心。
to maintain the steadfastness and perseverance in your spiritual cultivation. Second question. In my practice, I often dedicate the merits to my deceased father, hoping that he would be reborn in Sukhavati. Grandmaster, is this proper? Because I'm a new disciple and my spiritual power is not that great.
就行了。
But as long as you have the intent, the mind, and the heart to do it, it doesn't matter whether your spiritual power is enough or not. As long as you have such dedication and filial piety to your father or mother, and you have the intent, that's good enough.
中国人的这个古代，他要尊敬天。
In Chinese, in the ancient time, you have to respect the heavens, the earth, the king,
敬礼天，
and the.
敬礼地，
So you respect
敬礼
or pay respect to the heavens, to the earth,
敬礼国，
the leader of the country, because they protect you.
敬礼自己的父亲母亲，
And then respect to your own father and mother,
师长，
and also your teachers, and
那么你
so heavens, earth, king,
希望他
parents, and teachers.
不管你
So you dedicate the merits to your deceased father, hoping that he would be reborn into Sukhavati. It doesn't matter whether you have enough power or not, but if you have the mind or the heart to do it, that's already credible. If you're always mindful of the heaven, earth, and the country that protect you, to repay the generosities of the fourfold generosities, that's a good thing. So dedicating the marriage to the deceased father is a good thing,
功力够不够？
regardless of your spiritual power.
再来这个林金龙问的，
The second question by Lin Jinlong.
弟子感激师尊不断说法指
Your
导，
disciple is grateful for your incessant Dharma teaching
观念
to guide sentient beings to leave behind sufferings and gain happiness. I have a request about merit dedication. When we practice purification, enrichments, or magnetization, we dedicate the merits to these worldly practices,
功德，
merits of these worldly practices so that our wishes can be fulfilled soon.
个人的
Is it better that we dedicate the merits to all sentient beings to abandon sufferings and attain happiness before dedicating the merits for personal wishes? Or should we just dedicate the merits directly to ourselves so that our wishes can be fulfilled right away? When I recited the Siddhigarbha Sutra, I discovered that dedicating merits to all sentient beings in the 10 Dharma realms will multiply our merits. Thanks for your guidance, Grandmaster.
正确的。地藏经有教
This is correct.
我们
The Siddhigarbha Sutra taught us
普理，什么叫普理？
in Tantrayana
普理
we have the universal homage, which is the great homage,
十方
is the universal homage.
一切
So universally you pay homage to all the Buddhas of the 10 directions and all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. So
十方
you chant homage to the Buddhas of the 3 times in the 10 directions and all bodhisattvas and mahasattvas. That's universal homage. And merit dedication of your Dhamma practice to all sentient beings to abandon sufferings and attain happiness. That's your compassion. The greater your intent, then the greater your merit. So, in our merit dedication, we dedicate our personal wishes come last. So, dedicating the merits to all sentient beings will increase our merits. That's the key point. And then you dedicate the merits for yourselves. Then that would be proper. So purification, to purify the calamities of the world, like Grandmaster every night would perform bardo deliverance. All the disease due to coronavirus, regardless of their race and background. I dedicate the merits to all who died from coronavirus, and then invited them to get on board the Dharma ships, and by the majestic powers of the Tathagatas and Golden Mother, to bless all the sentient beings who died from coronavirus, so that they can get on board the Dharma ships and be reborn into the Sukhavati. I do it. I've been doing it every single day, never skip any day. And I do it for a long period of time. Of course, this kind of bardo deliverance can be done by each disciple. Grandmaster records Golden Mother's power is incredible, and Amitabha Buddha's power is also incredible. So, by the Amitabha's power, in addition to Golden Mother's power, and in addition to the strong faith of Grandmaster in performing the bardo deliverance, I have no requests. I just wish that sentient beings would leave behind sufferings and attain happiness. So Lin Jinlong's question was good. So you dedicate the merits so that all sentient beings abandon sufferings and attain happiness. That's number one, the best kind of merit dedication. And Jinlong from America. The earlier question was asked by Lin Jinlong. And the next question is by Jinlong from America. Grandmaster, I have questions. First, you taught that the tiger head Vajra can placate an animal farm and agriculture. But these are places for slaughter. Why would the tiger head Vajra protect them? So, Grandmaster once taught that tiger head Vajra can placate an animal farm and agricultures. But these are places for slaughter. Why would the tiger head Vajra protect them?
这个问题要问大家。
So I would like all of you. There were gifts around here before, but now they took them away. These are all too valuables for gifts. There's some in the cupboard. Animal farm and agriculture. So many? Just one is enough. Why don't you choose one? A necklace? A necklace with the Om character. It's beautiful. So, please raise your hand if you have an answer.
好，可以，当然可以。
离开畜生道，是我的想法。对，谢谢。
很好。还有吗？
Any? That's good. Any other answer?
因为你知道，你养虾子、养鱼。
Because when you raise fish and shrimps, you have to sell them to the market. And they were living beings, and then they will be killed later. And also animal farms or pastures, you raise sheep or lambs, chicken and geese. Why Tiger Head Vajra will protect the animal farms? 延续。
好，请坐。
那瑶池金母是瘟神的主人，那因为所以说瘟神要听瑶池金母的愤怒声，虎头金刚的这个勒令。那当时沙野还未成。
Because Tiger Head Vajra has to listen to Golden Mother to be in charge of the epidemics. And so Tiger Head Vajra just followed the order to protect the animal farms. But the slaughters have not happened, so there's no contradiction here. It's also good. Those are contradictory. You raise shrimps, but the shrimps would be killed later. Or you raise some fish, the fish will also be killed. You raise the sheep, they will also be killed. Or geese, or turkeys, or ducks, chicken, and they all will be slaughtered. And also pigs, they will be slaughtered too. If you raise cows, they will also be slaughtered. Why would the tiger head Vajra protect them? Actually, it's like this. In this world, a human being is not necessarily a vegetarian. As a Buddhist, the Mahayana Buddhist followers, Mahayana Buddhism place more importance on vegetarian food and also sentient several sects eat vegetarian food because of their compassion. So they don't eat animals. But in Tantrayana, we have a bardo deliverance dharma practice. So before you eat, you first bardo deliver and then make offering. So in Tantric Buddhism, does not prohibit people to eat animal food. And for the Vajra or Heruka practices, of course, they don't prohibit eating animal food. Of course, killing is no good. It's not good. But the Buddha specified that if you don't see the killing, you don't hear of the killing, and you don't ask for the killing, then the meat, the animal products are considered clean. And in my personal opinion, if you are reincarnated as the as a meat, as animals, as born as a sheep or cows or pigs or fish or shrimps or many animals. So if you are reincarnated as an animal of food, that means that your karma is heavy. So that in your destiny, that includes, that's the destiny of animal, food animal. So if you're being eaten with such a destiny, if you're being eaten, it would eradicate your own karma. Now do you understand? Because you have created grave transgressions. That's why you were born as animals. And then you have the destiny of being slaughtered. And because you're being slaughtered, and due to the slaughter, then you can be reincarnated to a better realm. So there's this cause and effect. That's the reasons. So as a tantric practitioner, we are not prohibited to eat animal products. And if we are about to eat them, we first make offering and also bardo deliver them, because there's a dharma practices for bardo deliverance and offering. And the tiger head Vajra, why would the tiger head Vajra protect the animal forms? Because if the animal form suffers from epidemic, that would be horrible. And they would die, more of them would die before they benefit, before they provide benefits. So the tiger head Vajra protects the animal forms and agricultures first, so that they don't die before they mature, and so that the owners of the farms and agricultures can continue to live. If all the chickens in the chicken farm die suddenly, then the owner of this farm may suffer. Or the fish farm, and all the fish died, then the owner would also suffer greatly. They'll be doomed. So tiger head Vajra protect animal farms and agricultures, so that they don't suffer from the epidemics or contagious diseases, so that they're all safe. So that they can grow normally, and when they are being slaughtered, the butcher would create karma. But those who eat them, if they are tantric practitioner, they actually bardo deliver them. So to this Jinlong from America, I don't know if you understand or not. You should understand, right? So even a human being will die. All the animals, even if you don't eat them, like a hen that becomes really old, and then the old ducks all over the place, old cows, old sheep, even if you don't eat them, they will die too. That all beings in the sixth rebirth realm will die, will encounter death. So if you think a little bit more, since they all will die eventually, it's best to make the farms and agricultures prosper, and to provide, to give help to the people, sentient beings, and that it's possible that they get bardo delivered too. So that's why I often said that the restaurant owners have to kill. They kill fish, and some kill pigs, or cows.
那个餐馆的有的也有那个活的龙虾在卖。
And some restaurants sell live lobsters, shrimps, fish. They're all live. Live turtles. Because they sell turtle soups.
都有的。那师尊教他们怎么办？
So Grandmaster taught them.
我不做餐馆了。
It's impossible for them not to continue the restaurant business. What else can you do if you don't open restaurants? So all I can do is to teach them to chant the deliverance mantra, a certain number every day to deliver those you kill. That's also a contradiction, right? Contradiction. So there are many contradictory things. Many Chinese come to America to open restaurants. It's difficult to earn a living other ways. They have to kill. So Grandmaster taught them because they said they don't know what to do other than restaurant business. So, fine, but then you have to chant the deliverance mantra every day to help those whom you kill, the animals that you kill, so that they can rise to the Pure Land. So, Tiger Head Vajra protects the animal farms and agricultures. That is correct. Nothing wrong. It's not a contradiction. And the restaurateurs killing animals and chanting deliverance mantra is not a contradiction. It's to benefit themselves and also to benefit the killed animals to be reborn into a better realm. So the person who asked the question was very thoughtful. That's good. Akasagarbha sits atop a cyan lotus. Is this color, is the color of a blue sky or the green of a vegetable? Because in Chinese it's called qing. And qing is used. In the blue sky they also use qing, but vegetable, green vegetable also qing. But the image of Akasagarbha is green typically, but some are blue. But I said it's about the same, either one. I'm not colorblind, but I have cyan color clothes or blue or green. I am also a painter. Sometimes I paint the sky with blue, sometimes with cyan, and the lotus too. Sometimes it's cyan color, sometimes blue. So the lotus where Akasagarbha Bodhisattva sit on top, is it the color of a blue sky or of a green vegetable? Both should be okay. We are not so particular. The lotus of Akasagarbha is many colors, so There's no need to be so particular about it, about this question. And the one who answered the first question, please raise your hand. 3 people. They all would receive a gift. Please come get it. All 3 of them. I would like to encourage you to answer. A chanting bead. That looks like a necklace too. It's 5 already. And during an exam, and the examiner found a note under Xiaobao's desk and asked Xiaobao, "Is this yours?" And Xiaobao said, "No, it's not mine." And the teacher said, "Come on, don't argue. It's yours, isn't it?" And Xiaobao kept saying, "No, it's not mine." And the teacher said, just answer frankly. I will not punish you." And Xiaobao said, "It's not mine, because mine is here in my hand." They are cheating. The physical education teacher said, all men has two eggs. And Xiaoming said, "No, we have 3 eggs." And the teacher was puzzled. "What?" And Xiaoming said, "Yeah, of course." And and one of the eggs have hatched to become a little bird. One day the teacher asked me, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And I said, "Yes. But he's in a different world." And the teacher said, "Sorry, I didn't know." And I said, "It's okay, because he's in my dream world." This one would be best for Hui Jun. Hui Jun just saw a news. She watched the news, and there's a skinny girl, and the leg was so skinny that it fell into the grate of the cover of the ditch and almost amputated. And then Hui Jun, after watching the news, sighed the relief. "Oh, it's good to be fat. Not even just the cover. Even if the cover is open, that I wouldn't even fall into it, into the ditch." And then Hui Jun continued to eat 2 other bowls of rice to calm herself. Today we'll talk shortly about Lamdre, the guiding path of the ambrosia. divided into three: the spiritual experiences of ambrosia evenly distributed, the spiritual experiences of the increasing power of the ambrosia, and the spiritual experiences of the increasing light drop. These three are wonderful. So this is the same as the divine water practice of Taoism. So the guiding path of ambrosia is the same as the divine water practice of Taoism. So what is this spiritual experiences of the evenly distributed ambrosia? Do you understand? So that inside your body, all the light drops are evenly distributed. So if there's some more here and less there, then there would be problem. So like the hormone in the brain, you cannot have lots in one side and less in the other side. Then you would have balance. But if you have more on one side and less on the other side, then you would wobble when you walk. Those are about the light drops. So when the light drops or the ambrosia are evenly distributed, then you would be healthy. So insulin is also ambrosia. If your insulin is insufficient, then you would get diabetes. Insulin is also ambrosia. The stomach enzyme, the saliva, the heavenly water, those are all ambrosia. The brain is also ambrosia. They all have to be even. So this section on the spiritual experiences of the evenly distributed ambrosia is talking about this. The next one is the spiritual experiences of the increasing power of the ambrosia, that all the hormones can generate power. When the power is increased, then you would also experience some spiritual experiences. So the power of the ambrosia or your hormones or your increased secretion, when they increase, then you would be rejuvenated. You would get younger and younger. And if they deteriorate, then you would age. You would get older and older. And the third one is the spiritual experiences of the increasing light drops. It's the same as increasing the ambrosia. And how to increase them? There are ways. You ought know that in your Dharma practice, you use your tongue. The tip of the tongue touching the upper palate. Then naturally the saliva would fill your mouth, and then your mouth is full. And in Taoism, it's called swallowing the saliva. So the saliva descends from the crown chakra, and then you use the tongue to mix it to become foamy, and then you swallow the foam. And when it gets to the stomach, it would increase your stomach and secretion. And then when it reaches your intestines, it would increase the probiotics. So that's the spiritual experiences of increasing light drops. So in Taoism, there is a practice called divine water practice. which is you're creating saliva and swallowing it, so that even when you're old, you will not have dry mouth. You will not decrease your saliva. Your saliva will not decrease. So I use explanations to explain this. So the spiritual experiences of the evenly distributed ambrosia is that you would have light drops all over your body. Then you will not have any problems or ailments. Like in your knees, if you have no more light drops, like between bones, and you have no more light drops in between, then you would have painful knees. Like in these joints, you would feel pain. Very simple concept. So that in each part of your bodies, with evenly distributed light drops, then you would have good experience. And if it's not even, then you would have ailments. And second, the increasing power of the light drops. Like I just said, light drops do have power. After evenly distributed, it would generate the power, and it would give good spiritual experiences. And then the increasing light drops, that your ambrosia increase, your light drop increase, and the method is the divine water practice, which is swallowing the saliva of the Taoism. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.